chaotic world, we have a chaotic life full of events, and our mind is running from one place to another place every single day, all the time. This is why we are finding stress and anxiety in our mind, and we need mindfulness. How to find mindfulness in a chaotic life? Because impossible itself says I am possible. So this is very much possible to find mindfulness in a chaotic life. Without further ado, let's dive. Tip number 1, meditation. Meditation is one of the most common, powerful and effective ways to practice mindfulness. You don't have to do a half an hour or 1 hour long meditation. You can just find 5 minutes of your day and sit somewhere and don't think about anything. Just blank your mind and don't think about anything, literally anything, and do meditate. If you want, you can find alternative ways to do meditation. There are several ways you can do meditation. You can go for guided meditation, you can sit somewhere and just not think anything about it, or you can find any other meditation. I have a meditation that is a half an hour meditation that I typically do with my sister, but most of the time when I have a really busy day and I don't have enough time, what I do, I just sit somewhere and do a 5 minute short meditation. And I usually do guided meditation and I really like that. So find your ways, whatever you prefer. You can find a quiet place and sit somewhere and just not think about anything. That can be your meditation. So it can be as simple as it is. Don't complicate it if you don't have the practice to do meditation every day. So keep it simple and just go ahead and do meditation. Tip number 2, mindful breathing. Even if you don't have the time or practice or any knowledge about meditation, you can sit somewhere and breathe mindfully. I typically do a square breathing because it creates a shape of a square when I do it. For instance, when I do it, I breathe in for 3 seconds and then pause for 3 seconds and breathe out for 3 seconds and then pause for 3 seconds. So it creates a square shape. That's why this is called square meditation. And I do it with the alternative nostril breathing style. So when I do this breathing, I close one of the portion of my nose and I breathe in for 3 seconds and hold for 3 seconds and close your nose, the other part of the nose, and breathe out for 3 seconds and then hold for 3 seconds again. And then you repeat the cycle. This is how we can do alternative nostril breathing in a square breathing style. And when you have anxiety or tension or any kind of uneasiness, it actually creates on your diaphragm. And when you do this kind of breathing, then you will see that your tension or anxiety goes away. Because when you breathe in, your oxygen goes into your diaphragm and it releases the tension. So next time you are anxious or you are tensed or you are stressed, try doing this breathing. Tip number 3, body scan. Every single day when you don't have time, when you go sleep, before you go sleep, when you lie down on your bed or sit comfortably somewhere and scan your body from head to toe. And when you do this, you will become aware about part of your body. And if you have any uneasiness, if you have some pain or stress, you can actually understand through this body scan, and you'll be able to release that tension when you know it. Most of the problems, it goes away when you have an idea about the problem clearly, because most of the time we don't even know the problem. When you don't know the problem, you can't solve it. So find the problem to solve that matter. So try doing body scan every single day when you go sleep. This is an ideal time, but you can do it any other part of the day, whenever you are comfortable. Even you are very busy and you are going somewhere, you are spending some time on your commute, you can sit somewhere and just do the body scan. Just know that you can't talk to anybody or you can't do anything about it, because your mind has to be fully engaged about scanning the body parts. Tip number 4, mindful eating. How many people say thank you to the food when we receive our food in front of us? We take food for so granted that we don't even think about it. Actually, most of the people in Ayurveda, they actually do a prayer before they eat. So they do a little small prayers about thanking the hands who prepared the food, helping the hands who brought the food, and you are having an opportunity to see the food and experience the food. Because how many people in this world, they do not find food. So don't take your food for granted. Be grateful, be thankful, and thank the people who prepared that food for you. Tip number 5, mindful walking. When we go somewhere, we take a walk sometimes and we don't think about anything. We probably scroll our your phone or think about something and then walk. So next time when you are walking, you're going for a walk, just try to keep your mind relaxed and don't think about anything and take every single steps carefully. So when you mindfully walk, you actually enjoy that time with yourself. When I sometimes go for a walk and I keep my phone at home and I don't have any disturbance, so I can spend time with myself. Though I live in a city which is very chaotic and it has a lot of sound pollution, so I use a headbud in my ear, so I can filter a lot of noise and I can spend time with myself while walking. Tip number 6, mindful listening. We listen to reply. We don't listen to listen. So try to actively listen. There are tons of video in this world or YouTube or Facebook that will show you how to let other people know that you are paying attention. Forget all those crap, because this doesn't work. Why do you have to pretend to listen to somebody and do so much work? You can just listen carefully. When you listen carefully, when you listen actively, you don't have to pretend. You actually listening. You are engaged in the conversation and you are not listening to reply. You are listening for listening, to collect information. God has given us 2 ears and 1 mouth. So you should listen more and speak less. Next time when you're in a conversation, try to listen actively and just don't listen to reply. You will find most of the conversation very easy because you can just listen and just productively make some comments. That's all. You don't have to deal with a lot of toxicity or anything else. Tip number 7, mindful observations. We observe a lot of things, but how many people actually mindfully observe? When you observe, don't judge that person. Keep the information in your head somewhere and you can just observe. When somebody is walking nicely, you can just appreciate that walking nicely. You don't have to judge that like, oh, she's walking nicely but she has that kind of a problem, or what she's wearing, I don't like her outfit. You don't need to make that comment. When you don't make negative comments in your head, you will actually find your daily life much easier, because we live in a world where a lot of people around us and a lot of events are happening around us, and you can just observe people and you can just listen to them. You can just see them. You can just keep that information in your head and you can use it when you need it, but you don't need to create any toxicity in your mind. One day I was angry at some people. I had some resentment about some people because they had orange hair. Is it my problem that that person has orange hair? Is my hair orange? No. Did I pay for that orange hair? I did not. So why I am bothered about it? It was creating nuisance in my mind and it was creating problem in my mind. And that day I have stopped, I learned how to stop judging and detach myself from that situation. My life has become much more simpler. So try doing that next. Tip number 8, mindful journaling. When you have a busy day, most of the time we don't even have time to write down what happened to us. So you can do mindful journaling. You don't have to write everything that happened to you, but if something bothered you or if something made you really happy, whatever extreme situations, you can write down in your journal and you can reflect on your mind after 3-4 months or 6 months. If you have the repeated situation that like something is bothering you repeatedly, then you'll be able to find that problem and solve it for once, and that problem will not be a problem in your life anymore. So try mindful journaling and it will help you to reflect onto your life to make it much simpler and mindful. Tip number 9, pause. When you have a difficult conversation or a difficult situation with some other person and you are getting into a heated argument, don't worry. Don't reply impulsively. Take a pause, take a deep breath and hold. You will see when you center yourself with your breathing, with your mindful breathing, you'll be able to control your emotions, because words are like bullet. Once you say that, it is out. You can't take it back. So before you say something, pause and repeat in your head whether you want to say it or not, whether it is good for your reputation or this is good for the long run situations or not. And most of the time you will see that you can control yourself and you'll be able to say something diplomatic. So take a pause and center yourself. Tip number 10, mindful apps. There are several apps in this world right now for both for Android and iOS to practice mindfulness, such as Headspace, Calm, I use Bright app. It's actually a productivity app, but it also has guided meditation. Even if you don't have any app or you don't want to install, you can just go on YouTube and find several guided meditation or unguided meditation to find. Take advantage of technology because everybody has phone these days. You can also switch off the mobile data or put your phone into flight mode and use that mindfulness app, because maybe you don't want any distraction. But if you are okay with the distractions, just that's not a problem. But most of the time when I use the app, I try to keep my phone into flight mode and use that app and find my calmness, peaceness, and I just go ahead and live my day. So that's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for watching our video. So next time when you're anxious or stressed, try to use any of the tips that we shared today, and let us know in the comment box below that how did it go, and see you soon.